Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures and Wall Street. I am so glad you're here. Before I get started today, as a reminder, I am a financial advisor, but everything on this podcast is not investment advice. It should only be used for education and information purposes only. I am very passionate about politics and the stock market and your faith. So this show just commingles everything together and we can just talk with the gloves off, roll up our sleeves and get into it. Let's get into it. So I wanted to basically like talk about like if I can just have a real candid conversation. I don't even think Joe Biden is alive. After watching this speech, it reminded me of I just text Stu. Let's see here. 9:26 p.m. I text Stu. 9:26 p.m. on 7/24. It was, if you go on his X, let me see here. Literally 12 minutes later or 30 minutes later, he posts Damar Hamlin 2.0. He stole my line. All good. He can do that. That's fine. But anyways, that's what I felt. I felt like it was a Damar Hamlin 2.0. And dude, I don't even know if he's alive, man. Like you guys answer me. Like, is he dead? I think it's a huge cover up. I think he's dead. How do you go from Las Vegas, COVID, Las Vegas in the hospital? Like the deep state wanted him out. They just wanted him out. And you know, Jones has been saying it all along. They wanted him out, and they're trying to create this coup. We had Nancy Pelosi threatening him, and then next thing you know, he is like, it was this whole thing. It's just fishy. From the Twitter post that he did the other day, I'm in it. I'm going to win it. And then the next day, he has COVID, and then the following day, he is like speculation that he may not run. So something happened there. And then all of a sudden gets sick. So I said weeks ago, I said they're going to try to assassinate him. They're definitely going to get rid of him. And it goes to show you the left wing and the right wing, they're all a part of the same bird. And now they want to kill Trump. I think they're going to try to attempt again. Maybe they'll attack his airplane. I don't know, because there's no cameras there. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to cause a crazy distraction. I think what they're going to definitely do is this whole testing of the electrical grid going out. I think they're going to have a massive blackout before an election and blame it on the commingled numbers, and Kamala's going to try to win, but we're going to catch him. It is election year, guys, and I'm not here to talk about too much of the politics. I want to talk about the distractions, because it is all a distraction. By the way, let me just show you this. This is wild, man. Like, you guys tell me.
George Washington, who showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have.
I think it was fake. It obviously was pre-recorded. And so because it was pre-recorded, now you have the ability to do whatever you want. Doctor the video, put makeup on him. You could literally have somebody else record it and with AI make it seem like Oh man, guys, I don't want to get into this, but I don't think he's alive, man. I think that whole video is fake. Look, if you can zoom in on his watch and actually zoom in on his watch, the time of the watch does not match the time that he actually aired it. I think it was 8 o'clock Eastern. Here's a picture of it. It is blurry, but it's disturbing because his watch was wrong. Guys, if they could fake a dead president, they could fake a letter, a Photoshop a letter. If they could fake all these things, they could fake an election. And it's not too far off to start thinking that way. I say that because the stock market's rigged. And more than ever, you need to heed advice. You need to really, really take advice with your retirement. I could show you all the things that are happening on the charts. Some of you don't like the charts. I saw the comments the other day. Oh, your charts don't mean anything because I was bashing gold, and so now I'm the villain, right? I'm the idiot. I'm the spick Jew, and whatever you guys want to call me. All this crazy nonsense that you guys call me. But at the end of the day, it is still about where the money flows in the charts. And so, look, man, it doesn't matter if you're Jewish, black, white, gay, straight, agnostic. The charts don't lie, and they have no discrimination. And so you could take your precious metals and run with it. I was talking to a client the other day. He had an IRA full of precious metals. And I said, how does that make you feel knowing that you don't even own your IRA? And the people that you're trying to avoid are controlling the price of your precious metals. Who owns the Chicago Board of Exchange? Do you want me to dive deep into that? The same people you're trying to avoid. Yes, the satanic Zionists. And I'm not against Jewish people. I just don't like the satanic people, right? But I'm here to tell you, man, that speech was not real, man. That speech was modified, adulterated in every imaginable way. It reminded me of Damar Hamlin. You guys remember Damar Hamlin, where he got hit in the football field and he died suddenly on the field, and then all of a sudden he went away for what, 2 weeks? Raised $7 million, $8 million. I can't remember how much it was. 4 million. It was in the millions. He raised a bunch of money. Not even a thank you. Not even picking up your phone and going live and saying, hey, thank you guys for donating to my charity. Nothing. And then when he does show up, somebody else shows up in like a face mask, glasses. It was really, really awkward. And then you saw him from a window that no one could have access to. And he was doing the whole heart thing. Remember the heart thing that they did? I wasn't buying it, man. And it had like that feeling tonight when Joe Biden, or the corpse of Biden, or the double of Biden, let's just say, yeah, it just looked weird. Oh, and by the way, when he was walking on the airplane this week, where'd he get all that long hair in the back? Does he need a haircut or something? Was that really him? And then you have like those face masks. I mean, not the face mask, that like, it looked like he was wearing one of those jelly masks that can change any face. Like, it's scary. Like, you can get a 3D printed nylon wax mask and just have it like basically melted in makeup and all these things, and you can literally mimic anyone. It is scary, man, what they can do with this technology. I just don't trust it. It doesn't sit well. And now with this picture circulating with his watch, look like it's a Rolex Sky Dweller he was wearing, and the time was wrong. So we can only imagine what's really, really happening. And guys, I'm here to tell you that we need to pray for our country. We need to pray for our country, man. Like, this is not cool. Yeah. Now, I want to talk about the charts, but this is pretty disturbing knowing that the time was wrong on his watch. It's definitely pre-recorded. The background looked AI enhanced. Everything just looked fake. From the tan to the watch to his mumbling to his hair. He looked too perfect. For being a COVID survivor, a double pneumonia myself, it takes weeks, if not months, to get your thoughts together, to like speak normal, to be able to breathe and hold a conversation without like sucking in a lot of air. Oh man, I don't like that, man. And I'm sorry I spent the first 10 minutes talking about this, but I had to let that out of my chest before I get into the charts. All right, let's get into the charts. So, all right. So what do you guys think, man? Like with the whole okay. There's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff. Um yeah, before I get into it, because once I open those charts, man, I'll just go ham and I'll lose focus. And I didn't write any notes today because there's just so much stuff going on with assassination, with Pelosi threatening Joe Biden, with this picture of his watch being wrong, to Kamala all of a sudden getting in and acting like president, to the polls are being lied to. There's a lot of distractions. But this is where we have to have our laser focus on really what's going on with our money, with the laws, with everything. It is times like this is when Congress gets together and the news doesn't cover it because something else is happening. All right, so we're going to go to the charts here. I promise I'll try not to go on a tangent, but it's so hard because there's just so much stuff going on, and I'm going to try to keep this podcast short because I really want to just drill home the point of what I'm making is at the end of the day, we got to protect our money. Would you look at that? Our favorite thing to check. What was it, guys? You guys know. You've been following for how long? What did I say just 2 weeks ago? The volatility index has been bouncing off these lows. All-time lows. Look how low this thing is, man. We've been hanging around 12, 13 forever. All of the year, right? All of the year, 2024, 2023. It was at 12. It stayed in the $12 range for, all year long. And then, boom, we are at 15 right now. I'm sorry, where are we at right now? Yeah, man, we're at 15. This thing's going to go up probably to 22 with all the volatility that's happening. So I already said to you guys, and I got a blue cross here on the 23rd. That means a golden cross. We're going to cross this white line. See this 200-day moving average is a white line here. Now, when that crosses over, I get a blue stamp. This blue stamp means that there's a bullish signal, meaning we're going to have more volatility. Perfect timing for the election, right? So all my bars are green, and this little channel here, this volatility oscillator, once it does this number, it's bouncing back up. I got green lights going in. This puppy's going up, dude. This is going up. So we are pretty much guaranteed to have some volatility. And this is going to skyrocket. I'm predicting this is going to go. Let's see here. I think it's going to go up to here, man. Well, yeah, it's going to blow past. I say roughly about 21. I think it's going to go around 21, a little higher than what it was back in September of last year. I think we're going to have so much momentum. It's going to be over 21. I could be wrong, but it's going to go up. My charts don't lie, homie. This is a golden cross. I got a signal here. It's going up. We're looking at upwards of 20. Now, what does that mean in English? Well, let's go to the S&P 500. So we are here at the S&P 500. We got a buy signal, right? This was back in May. We got another buy signal back in last year of August. We had a little death cross. It went down for a little bit, about 10%. Then it shot back up, went down another 10, shot back up, probably going down another 10%. So we already lost 3.5%. We had the worst week we've ever had since 2022. Stock market news today. Stock smoke. NASDAQ falls over 3.5% in worst days since 2022 after Tesla, Alphabet trigger big tech sell-off. Tech stocks took a drumbling on Wednesday after lackluster Alphabet and Tesla earnings stirred up the worries that the big tech power to fuel gains is fading. The benchmark S&P tumbled more than 2% for the first time in more than a year, while the Dow dropped about 1.2%. The tech-heavy NASDAQ led the losses, falling about 3.6% for its worst day since October 22. We're starting to see this could be the brink of a massive, massive correction. What we need to understand is that I can tell you when the market is going down, for sure. Totally, I could tell you that. But what I want to really talk about is that there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of distractions going on with the Biden administration, with Kamala, with the Israeli war, with the border, with Kamala saying that she's going to evoke the Second Amendment as soon as she gets in as president if she wins. Like all this garbage, all these distractions. But as I go back to what is important, which is the charts, we are going to see this market go up and then it'll come back down. Now, what's interesting is we could see a correction. It could go down this way, or it could simply just lose a little 8% and bounce back up, depending who gets in the election. So we are at a pivotal point here where it is going down. So you see my little oscillator on the bottom here. It is headed down, guys. Like there's no line about that. And I want you to understand that it is time. It is time to not mess around anymore. You have to protect your principal. Do not go into 2025 saying, my money is all in the stock market, in gold, and red money. So what you know about red money is what you need to know, it has unlimited losses, unlimited gains, no principal protection, unknown fees. You have zero control of your money. Red money is popular when you have a normal financial advisor that is subject to the edicts of Wall Street, and they can't practice in safe money strategies. Call your advisor right now and say, what safe money strategies do I have? They're going to typically say, well, we can buy bonds. We can buy treasuries. We can buy fixed income. That's what most financial advisors say. But unfortunately, most of them don't have access to green money products where we can generate a 7 to 15% rate of return. Not guaranteed, but based on the past 20 years of history of these smart indices, using AI, using volatility controls, having a contract where your money is guaranteed, protected, and safe is going to be key going into 2025. Because, guys, if we have a recession, which it's already here, but when the market does tank, your gold can go tank too. Your silver could go tank, even though I like silver better than gold. This is only going to get you so far. You want to have a guarantee on your principal. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of precious metals, but they're manipulated. And most people don't sell them when the market's in the tank or in a crapper. And now we're starting to see some cards fall. I'm showing you the index. I'm showing you my charts, man. Like this is happening. This is freaking happening. You see this little red dot here? This red line and my oscillator going down and all the red bars going down. The market's going down. Like this is happening right now. So if you got mutual funds, if you have 401ks, you need to start going into cash. Again, it's not investment advice. This is just education purposes only. But based on the current market conditions, the average person should be going to cash or treasuries right now because it doesn't get any clearer than this, dog. It does not get any clearer than this. This is a huge charting platform, one of the professional charting platforms that one of my masterminds use. And more than ever, I really believe you should give us a call. Not because I just want your business, but I really want to help and give you a solid solution going into this recession, going into a market crash. Now, in a minute, I'm going to show you some other things you can do to make money off of this market crash, this market correction. It's just a matter of time, guys. And so if Trump gets in, they're going to crash the stock market. That is just common sense. They want to give him the dirt. They're not going to make it easy for him. So we have the solution where we can make money on when the market goes down, at least protect your principal. So give us a call, 813-448-3446. Don't be subject to just having mutual funds and manage money and money in the stock market. When I'm showing you right now, days before the market correction, mark my words, you're going to be a sorry sucker if you don't do nothing. You're going to be a sorry sucker. And I don't want to hear it. If you've been watching me for 2 or 3 years and you've been keeping up with these podcasts and listening to me, I don't want to hear it. If you're a current client, you're sitting Gucci, you're fine. But if you're not a current client and you have your assets in some other firm, I can't speak to what they're doing. I have no idea what they're doing. I don't see statements. But right now, the forecast is telling me, the spaghetti model of the hurricanes is telling me, yeah, that market's going down. That market's going down. What are you doing right now to protect yourself from a declining stock market? And it's not just buying precious metals, guys. I'm tired of hearing about precious metals, and we'll take a look at it as well. I'm going to show you something else. But most of the people that buy precious metals or that are offering precious metals, they're not licensed financial advisors. So be very careful with that. They're not fiduciaries. They're there just to charge you 20% to buy it and 20% to sell it when you're ready to melt it. So be very careful. Now, if you do want to buy precious metals, I highly recommend go to CortezWealthGold.com. My guys over there at Genesis are amazing. They're very low fee, according to the industry standard. They're very transparent, and they can take a lot of calls. Their bandwidth is amazing. You can give them a call and or go to CortezWealthGold.com. CortezWealthGold.com. Check them out. But also, more importantly, if you need advice on your retirement, you don't know what to do, you don't know what green money is, you're in red money, you feel like a sitting duck, then give us a call, 813-448-3446. But more importantly, you can go to CortezWM.com, book an appointment with us, and we will call you to set up a time that you can speak to myself or Josh or one of our other consultants. And more importantly, I will also send you a copy of our book. We'll send you a copy of this book, The America First Retirement Plan. No cost to you, just by running an appointment. I'll sign it and send it to you. We want to protect America. We want to protect every household we could that contacts us in America, that loves the cross, that loves our country. that is praying for our country and don't want to fund this woke agenda. You know, this ESG garbage, the satanic regime, the Wall Street manipulations, the Green New Deals, all these things that we do not agree with. We're funding it unwillingly or willingly. And I think we have to answer to God with that, because we own these companies. When we buy a share, we own this company. And so we have to be stewards of our own money going into this. So another cool idea. Now, this is for education and information purposes only, guys. I don't want you saying, buying calls and puts and saying, I told you so. That's not what this is about. This is just for information purposes only. But I want to share something real quick with you guys. You guys remember the TMF trade? That TMF trade I was telling you about? You remember that a few weeks ago? Trade of the year. Well, let's take a quick look at it if you're in a trade with me. So I said that we can buy calls, January 26 calls at 100, which is about right here. Right now, the stock is trading at 51, 56. TMF is 3 times the risk. So this is not for money in your retirement account. This is money that you have set aside, that you can gamble, that you can play with, you can afford to lose. This is not retirement account money. But I believe a $10,000 allocation to this will yield you close to $90,000 to $100,000 in the next 6 to 12 months. Notice that this is turning green. My bars here, my oscillator bars. This is short term, midterm, and long term. Once these turns green, we have a sell signal here. But once that interest rate drops, this is going to skyrocket. Now, this is 3 times of volatility. We know that they have to drop interest rates. Back in 2020, it was as high as $450, $458 actually. So we're just hoping that it goes back to 25%. If it goes back more, they're going to drop these interest rates. But if they do, they're going to crash the stock market. So you got to be very careful with this. There's a lot of risks. I got my blue cross there. So if you see my blue cross, that means what? That means we are going to start seeing a spike in price action. I think our calls will be hit very early. However, I'm a big fan of just being patient. Now, this is a trade that you put a few grand in, and I'm hoping that it could pay off in the long run when interest rates do drop. So that's one cool trade that I am in. The other trade that I am also looking at is a listener is asking, hey, Carlos, when's a good time to get into SPXS? Well, this is a good time. And maybe a little early, Will. And maybe a little early. But you see how everything is turning green right here on my chart on the very bottom? So it is turning green. And so what this means is stock market is going down. It will be a great time because we're at an all-time low. Now, when the market crashed, this was up. And so as the market goes up, this goes down. So it's an inverse of the S&P 500. 3 times the risk, by the way. So this was at 224. Right now it's at 10. We could buy some call options on this. Maybe out for a year from now. I haven't seen what they are. Or you can simply just buy the ETF. It would be a good time to buy it right now because I really feel that the S&P 500 is going to go down. And it could go down now to the end of the year. It could go down in the start of January. But this bad boy is going down. So my inverse S&P 500 is going up. The S&P 500 is going down. This is a cross-reference basically telling you, hey, not only is the VIX volatility index going up to 8, it's at 18 now. It could go up to 22. We have the New York Stock Exchange looking to turn. We have the S&P 500 looking to turn. We have the inverse SPXS looking to go up. What else confirmations do you want? The stock market's going down. The question is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do today to help protect your accounts? This is no joke, man. Like, this is happening right now. To me, this is fascinating. We have the tools to look at this before it even happens. So this is why we have our covenant process. This is why that we believe that you need to have a fixed income bucket that could grow 7 to 15%. We need to have a liquid bucket that can be in treasuries, that can make money in the markets when the markets are favorable. We need to have some precious metals, maybe 10 to 25%, depending on your risk tolerance. I like silver. We need to have these buckets of money because we just can't have all of our money in precious metals. We can't have all of our money in insurance contracts. We can't have all of our money in the stock market without being privately traded. So that's my message today is have this covenant process. What are you doing today to prevent this crazy atrocity? Don't be bothered by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and all these assassination attempts and all these false flags that are happening. Don't let that deteriorate from what is actually happening in front of you. The market's going down. Protect your house. You are a man. If you're a man, it's your responsibility to protect and provide for all types of situations. Us men, you need to be praying for your wives. You need to be a steward of your assets. You need to be exercising, learn hand-to-hand combat, do masculine things because America doesn't want you to do masculine things. Being a man is toxic these days. Even in the church. Dude, there's so many wussy men in the Christian church. Oh, they bought into the, oh, we gotta love. Slap me in the face. I'm still going to love you. Oh, steal my money. Don't worry. All he needs is love. Let's just pray for him. He just needs a hug. Come on, man. Like, God is a God of love, but he's also a God of justice. He don't take no crap from nobody. But yet, he's a savage as well. And we have to understand that we need to protect our household financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally. We have to protect our household, guys. And because of that, one of the reasons why I'm talking that way is because I just bought, this is my new devotion right now, is daily prayers for my wife. I'm gonna read a little bit because I need to wrap up. All right. So there are many ways to show kindness to others, especially to your wife. After all you know her better than anyone except for God. So you're able to be kind in ways that bore into the depths of her heart, while an average kindness cannot go. Love seeks to be kind down to smallest detail, whether it be a loving look, going out of your way to help, speaking choice words, sometimes withholding your words, waiting with patience, or praying for her welfare. The list can go on and on. God wouldn't have included kindness in his definition of love if it were not vital for a blessed and joyous union. 1 Corinthians 13:4. Love is kind. Love is kind. I thought that was cool, man. I love my little 3-minute devotion, 5-minute devotions. You really don't have any excuse not to spend time with God. So I pray that you can love on your wives, love on your spouses, be present with them, avoid these phones unless you're on the phone together. But yeah, that is a killer, man. And I pray that your marriages get restored and that you can keep each other in harmony as you go closer to God. Us men, we need to step the heck up, man. We need to step the heck up, man. But be careful with the charts. Be careful with the distractions. Stock market's going down. We knew it was going down. If you're a client, you have nothing to worry about. If you're not a client, I would be giving us a call, seeing how we can help you strategize your way out of this market crash that we're fitting to have, like we say in the South. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I hope you enjoy this podcast. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next few days here, man. But this is wild. This is absolutely wild what's going on. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe our new Rumble channel on Scriptures on Wall Street. You can also go to X, and we're over there on Scriptures on Wall Street. You can find my personal Twitter, Carlos Cortez Jr. 3 is my handle on Twitter or X. I post stuff there. But yeah, if you can go to Scriptures on Wall Street on Rumble, our own private channel, I post things about my family, us rollerblading, doing some awesome stuff. Anyways, God bless you guys. I'm out of here, and we'll talk soon.